A $2 household fix and 1 minute under the hood can be the difference between saving your battery and wasting $300 on a replacement you didn't need. I've seen this too many times. The battery gets blamed, but the real problem is corrosion, weak terminal contact, low fluid, or sulfation. So in this video, I'm showing you the battery tricks I've used for years in the shop, and number 3 is the one that can bring a dead battery back when everyone else already gave up on it. Number 1. The Vaseline Terminal Seal Trick. A $2 jar of Vaseline can stop one of the dumbest battery problems I see in the shop: terminal corrosion. That white, blue, crusty powder around the battery posts is not just ugly. It creates resistance, and resistance is exactly why a battery with enough power inside can still crank like it's dying. This is where people get fooled. The car starts slowly in the morning, the lights flicker, the starter sounds weak, and the owner immediately thinks the battery is finished. Then he walks into a parts store, drops $180 to $300 on a new one, and nobody ever explains that the real problem might have been the connection, not the battery. Here's the trick. Once the terminals are clean and tight, coat the exposed metal with a thin layer of Vaseline or dielectric grease. Not a giant greasy mess, just enough to seal the terminal from air, moisture, and battery acid vapor. That protective layer keeps corrosion from growing back so fast, and it helps the battery deliver power cleanly instead of fighting through crust every time the car starts. I've used this on old Japanese commuters, weekend cars, JDM imports that sit for weeks, and daily drivers that live outside in humid weather. Same pattern every time. The owner thinks the battery is weak, but the terminal looks like it has been growing mold for 6 months. Clean it, tighten it, protect it, and suddenly the car cranks stronger. This is especially useful on older cars where the battery sits in a hot engine bay. Heat speeds up the chemical mess around the terminals, and once corrosion starts, it usually keeps coming back unless you seal the connection. That is why just wiping it once is not enough. You need to clean it, then protect it. And the money difference is stupid. Vaseline costs almost nothing. A battery test, terminal service, no-start diagnostic, or unnecessary replacement can cost real money fast. I've seen people pay for a new battery and still come back with the same weak start because the cable end was still corroded underneath. That is why this hack opens the list. It is cheap, ugly, simple, and it works. If the battery connection is dirty, the car does not care how expensive the battery is. Clean current flow is everything. Number 2. The Baking Soda Terminal Rescue Trick. When the corrosion is already there, don't start by grinding the terminals like an idiot. I see people attack battery posts with sandpaper, knives, screwdrivers, wire wheels, anything they can find, and half the time they chew up the soft lead before they even fix the actual problem. The first move is not violence. The first move is chemistry. Grab baking soda and hot water. Sprinkle the baking soda directly over the crusty terminal, then pour a little hot water on top. The reaction starts immediately. It foams, bubbles, and eats into that acidic buildup right in front of you. For video, this one is perfect because it looks dramatic. The blue-white corrosion starts breaking down in seconds, and suddenly a terminal that looked completely ruined is actually cleanable. After the fizzing slows down, scrub the area with an old toothbrush or small brush, rinse lightly, dry it properly, and then tighten the terminal again. That last part matters. A clean terminal that is still loose is still a bad connection. Once it is clean and tight, then you finish it with the Vaseline or dielectric grease trick so the corrosion does not come straight back. This hack saves people because battery corrosion can fake much bigger problems. A dirty connection can make the starter sound tired. It can make the battery test worse than it really is. It can create weird voltage issues that make owners think the alternator is weak or the car has some electrical problem. I've seen people come in ready to spend $300 to $500 between battery replacement, diagnosis, and labor, when the first thing the car needed was a 5-minute terminal cleanup. And this is why I like baking soda better than just scraping dry corrosion. It neutralizes the acid residue instead of just moving the crust around. You are not just making it look cleaner, you are stopping the chemical mess that is interfering with the connection. A box of baking soda costs $1 to $3. Hot water is free. An old toothbrush is probably already sitting in the house. Compare that with paying a shop because the car barely starts, and this becomes one of the easiest battery tricks in the whole video. Most owners condemn the battery too early. A mechanic checks the connection first. That difference alone saves people a ridiculous amount of money. Number 3. The Pulse Repair Charger Trick. This is the one that makes people look at the battery like it came back from the dead. A normal charger just pushes charge into the battery. A pulse repair charger does something smarter. It sends high-frequency pulses through the battery to attack the sulfate buildup sitting on the lead plates. That sulfate is one of the main reasons an old battery starts acting weak even when it is not completely finished. This is the trick a lot of old-school Japanese car guys use on cars that sit. Weekend cars, old JDM imports, garage queens, project cars, anything that gets started once in a while and then ignored for weeks. Those batteries don't always die from age. They die from sitting undercharged. And when they sit undercharged, sulfation starts choking the plates. Here's how it works. You connect the charger properly, positive to positive, negative to negative, select repair or desulfation mode, and let the charger run its cycle. The setup takes 1 minute. The recovery takes longer, but that 1 minute is what separates the guy who throws away a weak battery from the guy who actually tries to save it. I've seen batteries sitting around 11 volts that owners had already written off start accepting charge again after a repair cycle. The best way to prove it is with a battery tester. Check the cold cranking amps before and after. That number tells you whether the battery is actually recovering power, not just showing fake voltage. And the money makes this trick ridiculous. A decent battery can cost $150 to $300. A pulse repair charger can cost $30 to $80, and you can use it again and again. If it saves one battery, it already paid for itself. If it saves 2 or 3 over the years, you basically robbed the battery aisle. This does not just charge a weak battery. It gives you one last serious chance before you spend real money. That is why this is the hack most people remember. Number 4. The distilled water cell revival trick. Some batteries are not weak because the plates are destroyed. They are weak because the fluid level inside dropped and nobody ever checked it. Heat does that. Time does that. Sitting under the hood for years does that. The electrolyte level falls, the lead plates get exposed, and the battery starts losing capacity like it is dying. That is where distilled water comes in. Not tap water, not mineral water. Distilled water only. A lot of batteries people call maintenance-free still have a top label hiding cell caps underneath. Peel the label carefully, open the caps, and look inside. If the plates are not covered, the battery has been starving. Add distilled water just until the plates are covered, close it back up, then put it on a slow charge. This is not a fancy trick. This is old battery knowledge most modern owners never learned because everyone got trained to replace first and ask questions later. I've seen people throw away batteries that only needed fluid and a proper slow charge. A gallon of distilled water is $1 to $3. A new battery is $150 to $300. That is the kind of difference that makes me angry when someone gets sold a battery too early. This works especially well on older cars that sit in hot weather, or batteries that have been cooked by engine bay heat for years. You see a weak crank, the owner sees a dead battery, but when you open it up, the cells tell the real story. Low fluid means the chemistry is not getting the chance to work properly. The trick is patience. You do not top it off and expect a miracle in 30 seconds. You refill it correctly, charge it slowly, and then test it properly. When it works, it feels like you just stole months or even years of extra life out of a battery everybody else was ready to throw away. Number 5. The battery heat shield trick. Most people blame cold weather for killing batteries. I blame heat. Cold exposes a weak battery, but heat is what cooks it to death months before winter ever shows up. I've seen this over and over again. The car starts fine all summer, the owner thinks everything is okay. Then the first cold morning hits and the battery falls on its face. The cold didn't murder it. The heat already did the damage. Under the hood, a battery can sit next to engine heat, radiator heat, exhaust side heat, and summer air that feels like an oven. Once that case keeps getting cooked, the fluid evaporates faster, the plates age harder, and the battery loses capacity quietly. Then the owner gets shocked when a 3-year battery acts like it is 6 years old. The cheap trick is a battery heat shield, or insulated battery wrap. Some cars already come with one from the factory, and a lot of owners throw it away the first time they replace the battery because it looks like useless packaging. Big mistake. That wrap is there for a reason. It helps shield the battery from the heat cycling that slowly kills it. I've seen car audio guys and old Japanese performance guys take this seriously because they know voltage stability matters. A battery that stays cooler lives an easier life. A battery that gets baked every day loses strength faster, especially in hot climates or in cars with tight engine bays. And the money makes the point for you. A battery wrap can cost $15 to $40. A decent replacement battery is usually $150 to $300. And on some newer cars, it can go even higher once registration, testing, or labor gets involved. If a cheap wrap helps the battery last even 1 extra year, it already did its job. This is not cosmetic, it is protection. If you want a battery to last 10 years instead of dying early, stop letting the engine bay cook it alive. Number 6. The smart disconnect trick. A battery does not need to be old to get ruined. Leave a car sitting long enough and the car itself will slowly kill it. Alarm system, keyless entry, control modules, radio memory, trackers, dash cams, little background draws nobody thinks about. They all keep sipping power while the car is parked. Leave it for a few weeks and that slow drain can drag the battery low enough to damage it permanently. This is where people get caught. They park the car before a trip, come back 2 or 3 weeks later and the battery is flat. Then they jump start it, drive around for a while and think the problem is solved. It isn't. A deep discharge hurts the battery. Do it a few times and you shorten its life hard. The smart trick is simple. If the car is going to sit, disconnect the negative terminal or install a small, quick disconnect switch. The negative side is the one you remove first and reconnect last. Once it is disconnected, the car stops draining the battery through all those tiny parasitic loads. For a weekend car, project car, old JDM import, or any car that sits more than 2 weeks at a time, this can be the difference between a battery that survives storage and one that dies every season. I've seen owners buy battery after battery because their car keeps killing them, when the real problem was not the battery, it was sitting time. A quick disconnect can cost $10 to $20. A new battery can cost $150 to $300. That is a stupid gap. And this is the perfect closing trick because it is pure prevention. No chemistry, no charger, no rescue mission after the battery is already weak. Just stop the drain before it happens. Most drivers wait until the battery dies. Smart owners cut the power before the car gets the chance.